for International Jobcenter. It looks like it's going to be Viego. So, I mean, what do we have left really in terms of AP champions? I mean, I can't think of any outside of like Orianna, Ziggs, but you don't want to pick mages because you already picked a Severe, but there's not really much else left in the side lane. The only champion that could be picked is Vladimir. I think that's a pick that maybe random can pick up. Outside of that, I'm not too sure what else, but I wonder if Vapo also think the same thing and they ban away that Vladimir.
I mean, they're probably going to aim more towards that because obviously this is the part of the banning phase for the past 3 games where they start to ban out obviously the top side of the map as well as the jungle. But I mean, I don't know why International Jobcenter's banned out the Jace there because obviously
they probably couldn't think of something in time.
So it's just like, go back. We've lost the ban. But the Braum gets banned out here as well. Obviously, they don't have the support over to the side of International Jobcenter. So I'm feeling International Jobcenter's kind of like fatigue here within these bans. Is like, what have we banned? What haven't we banned?
Yeah. I think that's the difficulty trying to think. I mean, that's what happens when you get to a game number 4 again, and this is what normally the coach's job is trying to figure out, you know, what gets banned, what doesn't get banned, what's open and available. When you don't have that person by your side to kind of help you out and be that person to be like, look, this is open, this is banned, you know, this could be picked. It's kind of difficult in the end, but looks like Vapo here going to be trying to figure out what their last ban is going to be. They might ban out. There's the Vladimir that I was talking about. I think it's a very, very clever ban here for Vapo. And I think it's very, very smart because now what's your AP damage here for International Jobcenter? What else do you have left as an AP damage source that I can't think about that's already been, you know, banned away or picked as well? So that's definitely going to put a spanner in the works here for International Jobcenter.
Hey, I mean, give me a Veigar. I mean, you're not going to give me a Rammus, give me a Veigar. So just, I'll be happy with that. But I mean, the Karma potentially here coming through. Oh, no. Ooh, the Nunu. Interesting. So Nunu into the jungle, I believe it will be. Maybe Viego into
support.
either...
It'll be support.
Okay,
yep.
Nunu support, from like the China, right? Yeah.
Yep, Nunu support. It's going to be a thing. I think it's pretty decent against their composition because you have Volibear, you have the Zinjao dashing in. Nunu has one of the most incredible level 1s as a support champion. And if you, I mean, I might be thinking maybe you see like an Enchanter. Yeah, I was thinking the one counter against Nunu is not picking the melee champion as a support. And we could see Lulu Kaiser here coming out as the last 2 picks for this fearless draft here for Vapo. And I think it's a really, really strong option. If this Lulu and the Kaiser, if they do pick it, Vayne is going to be the other option. Okay. I'm surprised it's not Kaiser, but Vayne is also a pretty good option because you have a few bruisers and a few tanks on the other side. Vayne's going to be very, very interesting to see what the capabilities can be with that Lulu as well. And this is the love of Fearless Draft. This is what Fearless Draft is all about. Brand? Really?
They're gonna say,
okay, Orianna. Wow. See, this is the thing now. I feel like with the Orianna, you could have easily put Orianna in like the dual lane and picked up like a different bruiser instead. You might maybe see Random play? No, okay. Random's going to be playing the Orianna. So this is what I mean now. Random's going to probably be playing the Orianna in the side lane. You have a mage in the side lane against the likes of the Volibear dive with his ultimate, Zinjao diving in, Swain diving as well. I really would like to see the Orianna in that dual lane and maybe Random pick up another champion, like another bruiser that he can come up against the likes of the Swain and the Volibear.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, what could he have gone for instead, right? Especially in terms of, obviously, Renekton being
I need to have the champions in front of me, to be honest with you, to see like what else is left.
Exactly. I mean, we can surmise.
I mean, I'm already looking at the moment. I mean, Nasus was open. Nasus could have easily have been a pick. Poppy obviously banned. Renekton banned. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that Nasus has not been picked up. I thought Nasus could have been a decent option. Yasuo could also probably not that good actually.
Well, it was banned last
Warwick.
match,
I mean, Warwick's another champion that hasn't been picked up as well. Warwick is also a very strong solo laner. So there are definitely some solo laners out there that you can still pick and they can still be very strong. But yeah, instead going for the mage with the AD carry. It's not bad though, to be fair, because as I said, Swain is a champion that loves champions running towards them, loves the melee champions running towards them as well. But instead you have like 2 mages and 2 range champions that you kind of have to deal with. Big on the other side, Nunu loves melee champions, but now you have the Vayne Lulu to deal with. I mean, how do you shut down this Vayne Lulu this game? I don't think there's enough dive from the Renekton and the Viego to try and shut down this Vayne Lulu. And I think that combo in general is going to be very scary.
Yeah, I mean, it depends if, like, obviously Nunu can try and get the knock up with the snowball, maybe try and get in somewhere, but it's just a big, like, eyesore. So you're going to see it from a very far distance, right? Like, the fact is that it's not kind of very inconspicuous. It's a child and a bear rolling a huge snowball into your lane. You know, guys, I saw that from, like, 10, like, meters away. I'm just dipping out of here. So there is going to be a bit of an issue, obviously, diving to backline, try and take out the Lulu, try and take out the Vayne. But I suppose the Vayne has a bit of utility as well, right? Like, Vayne could also try and go to the backside of the enemy team and use her ultimate to kind of like push those like backlines into the Swain as well in a way.
Yeah, I think it's difficult for the Swain in the end and trying to get onto the Swain and try and get the burst damage down here. But you're seeing the dual lane still going into the mid lane to start things off here to try and get that early priority. Vayne Lulu is actually going to have a pretty nice time against Nunu. You're seeing how much Nunu struggles in this range matchup. You play an Enchanter mid against the Nunu, and it becomes very difficult for the Nunu because you normally start your third ability at level 1. Normally, when you're against melee champions, you can proc the aftershock and, you know, do a lot of damage and also tank a lot of damage. But how are you going to proc aftershock and proc his third ability when you have 2 range champions on the other sides?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a mission for them here. I mean, we already seen Quaint being polymorph there as well, taking a lot of damage, as well as Shao as well. Oh, level 1 almost going down. I mean, level 2 as well, using the Honeydew Fruit to get that health back up. But the damage is definitely coming through very thick here for the side of Vapo. I mean, gone for the Relic Shield for Lulu. We're not going to get any sort of like AD Lulu out of nowhere randomly. Imagine if that was the case, but they definitely need some AP onto the side of Vapo.
Very nice here to start things off for Vapo, this dual lane. I think this 4-5 pick for Vapo was very, very smart. They saw the enemy composition. They saw obviously the Lulu and the Vayne are open, so they can try and go for that possibility and try and go for the Enchanter style, which is something that I was mentioning could be an option in this series, and it is being an option in this series already with game number 4 coming on through. If Vapo win this game, then we're going all the way down to game number 5. So that's when the crazy picks, I feel like, come on through, and we're going to be really whittled down to champions that maybe people are not really that comfortable on.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably going to be the biggest outcome I can probably see here for Vapo in this one is obviously getting that 2-2 scoreboard here, especially against EMEA's top seed as well, right? That can be very impressive for Vapo here, and a real big kind of like stir that Fearless Draft is definitely kind of put onto the rift for now. But here comes the snowball. They're trying to connect, just trying to keep away those minions for now. The Scorpions has come through as well for the top side of the map, just trying to put a bit of pressure on, but Carlos not having the most fun time in that top side of the map, obviously going up against Volibear.
Yeah, Volibear, one of the strongest Baron laners right now in the current meta. Very difficult for the Renekton to even do anything. And one of the problems with Renekton at the moment is a champion that really wants to snowball early on and try and play aggressive and try and get an early lead, because the Renekton does fall off very, very quickly. But against a Volibear, you're never going to win against him in the Baron lane. He has shielding, he has the AoE damage on his auto attacks, he has his ultimate to get away to safety. It's very, very difficult. And you're seeing at the moment the Volibear just has constant priority. And Snorlax gets flushed away by Lilo, but Snorlax getting the first blood here in the bot side. Really well played to capitalize on Swain going back to base and recalling in a very dangerous spot.
Yeah, we just see Snorlax taking over Vayne there, Swain to get his abilities for now, but he's got to be careful. Queenie is there. He can get over the wall pretty easy with his 1-2 combo as well, but they get out alive. Snorlax getting the first kill. It's going to be pretty huge for International Jobcenter. I feel like that's what they need to do, right? Just be very aggressive with these early game dives. I mean, we're at level 5 now. It's going to be hard for them. Here is the huge dive here for Volibear. Not catching anybody, though. Unfortunately, for the side of Vapo, Snorlax and Queenie both going head-to-head into the jungle. Nobody going to die.
Yeah, no one going to die just yet, unfortunately, for Vapo there. Again, using that Volibear ultimate. There's something that you always want to do with Volibear. You always want to try and rotate, use that Volibear ultimate to your advantage. Unfortunately, not catching out anyone there. Not going to be able to do enough damage in the end, as Queenie does take the bot lane scuttle. Overall, though, a pretty even game to start things off. Vapo, interesting enough, still in the gold lead, even though they did get a little bit behind with that tower dive in the bottom side. And First Blood it did go into the hands of International Jobcenter. But you look at this Vayne Lulu combo already, really running down this Nunu Severe in the mid side, and it's so difficult for the Severe to even walk up and try and trade against this Vayne, because you got Lulu by her side, you got the Enchanter buffing up the Vayne, dealing so much damage that what do you even do here if you're the dual lane for International Jobcenter? There's just nothing you can do right now.
Yeah, unfortunately for the side of International Jobcenter, you are correct there, Stu. To be honest, I feel like they need to be a little bit more of a support from either Viego, try and get like a bit of that dive in, but even at the same time, he could just get polymorphed. If he's not careful, if he doesn't have the right vision, he can just kind of... Vapo have everything within their utility to just make that not a potential.
Seen here, Viego itemization, very different to what we usually see. A Snorlax diving in onto the Vayne, but there's the Lulu Wild Growth, going to give the extra health over to the Vayne, and you're seeing that the Vayne is all the way onto the backline as the cameraman also went to Narnia. We've had multiple people go to Narnia this game, but the Vayne is still alive, still on the rift at the moment, and you're seeing how scary this Swain is in the backline. That huge AoE damage in the end. Vayne nearly got caught out there, but luckily for Vayne, the Lulu by her side with the Wild Growth, the heal, and the shielding was enough to keep her alive.
Yeah, I mean, very impressive team fight there from Vapo into the mid lane. Obviously getting 2 of the side of International Jobcenter. I don't feel like they even lost or won there potentially. There was definitely a huge difference into the team fights here, but Quaint going in with Snowball, trying to get the hit onto Queenie with a knockup, but he's not going to be quite there. Just kind of trying to reset the Enchanted Ensemble for now as they're trying to fight here on 2 fronts.
Oh, Shockwave! Shockwave, random hit the Shockwave onto Vayne. Vayne playing really over-aggressive there and really cocky, to be fair with you, because the Vayne had no ultimate. The Lulu also had no ultimate. Vayne's tumbling forward, trying to do a little bit of damage, and the random's just like, okay, here's my balls, here's my Shockwave. You know, it's very over-aggressive play there from the Vayne. A very big mistake as well, which means the International Jobcenter do take their Rift Heralds.
Yep, they get Enchanted Ensemble put down into the mid lane. Again, just the same MO as the past 3 games. Trying to get those turret platings and pressure into the mid lane is very fruitful for either of these teams. But with all that being said and done, though, I mean, Vapo are still only behind by roughly about 900 gold difference, which isn't huge. Around about this 6-7 minute mark as we're going into here. We still have the Mountain Drake up for grabs as well. Vapo could really try and go for this. I mean, is it the best Dragon Soul to go for at the end of the day? Probably not, but you probably want to try and claim it off your enemy and take it for yourself rather than them get it.
In the moment that neither team is going for the dragon, and I think proves to you like the priority of dragons at the moment in the current meta. You know, they're just so weak right now. They don't really give you any bonuses at all. And you're seeing that, you know, junglers would rather just farm their jungle and get gold from their jungle, which is exactly what Snorlax is doing at the moment. He cleared from his red side all the way down to his blue, and then probably after that he'll try and go for the dragon afterwards, as there's no one else taking it. But yeah, junglers would much rather farm the jungle and really get as much gold as possible. As Snorlax does not want that dragon, he wants to kill instead.
He wants to kill instead. He's going in on top of him as well. It is not going to be enough. The Aftershock comes through as well from Random. It's going to be enough of damage there to take down, but there it is, the Volibear dive. They do both flash out as well. Not getting the single knockup, but Queenie still into the thick of it as well. Gets taken down, bursted by Quant and Carlos.
You just can't tower dive a Nunu when he has ultimate. I don't know what Queenie was thinking there. Nunu still had his ulti. He still had his third ability as well. So he's just got so much extra shielding and so much more survivability that it's again a really big misplay here from Vapo. Now the first tower does go down, the second tower I should say does go down in that bot side of the map, so it means that International Jobcenter is just going to get more gold here. They're going to maybe get all 3 outer towers already. Mid lane tower's already gone down, bot lane tower's gone down, and Carlos is going to get this top lane tower as well. So they've suddenly got a huge amount of gold right now from taking all of these towers.
Yeah, I mean, considering where they were at, right? I mean, we were saying like Vapo to be only behind by like a few, like 900 gold is pretty impressive. But now that it's like, you know what? International Jobcenter's like, we'll take you all your T1 towers, and we'll definitely get that gold lead that we've really been hoping for here. Looking to try and get the Mountain Dragon Soul as well. They do claim the first dragon in the game also.
Dragon going to go down very, very late here at 9 minutes into the game. That's sometimes where normally the second dragon spawns on through, but it's only going to be one dragon this game. Might mean that we might not even get the soul this game. I'm not too sure exactly on the timings, but we'll have to wait and see, as there's a dive again, this time from International Job Center. Maybe the Nunu going a little bit too far. The scary thing here for International Job Center is I feel like they have to end this game sooner rather than later, because the Vayne is scaling, the Swain is scaling as well, and once they get a few items, it's going to be very difficult here to try and shut down.
Yeah, I feel like that's the sense I'm getting from Vapo as well, right? It's like they're like, hey guys, don't worry about it. We've lost our T1s in all our lanes. If we can just kind of like hold them off from getting any kind of pushes onto the inhibitors, because that's where it kind of really starts to matter for the side of Vapo. If they start to get the enhanced minions into either one of these lanes, it means that their priority is going to be a lot harder for them to try and come back from, or even like leave alone, because it just pushes through a lot quicker here. Carlos, Snorlax, both into top side of the map here. We do have a rotation from Quaint and Shy as well. Trying to get a potential setup and maybe takedown here of the Volibear.
Queenie dashing on through here. Snorlax has to use his ultimate to get away here. Again, you're seeing that there's a little bit of hesitation for both teams at the moment. You know, both teams trying to get a few picks, trying to get a few kills, but maybe a few misplays with overextending and trying to get some kills is unfortunately not really going in their favor at the moment. And you can see that the gold lead itself, International Job Center, still do have a gold lead, but it's not that big of a gold lead. But Queenie here, Carlos might have overextended a little bit too far here.
Yep, getting punished in this 3v1 potentially. I mean, he was able to try and soak a lot of that damage. Quaint was just a little bit too slow with the bit too far away to get the fast enough rotation to come and try and save him. But yeah, this is definitely where Vapo need to kind of try and get the strike back, right? Try and get those single takedowns. Means that obviously Carlos, a great access into the backline onto Vapo, is now gone for at least 16 seconds. So if they're going to try and take a team fight, I'd say probably right now is probably the best shot here for Vapo.
Seeing items coming up across the board here. Vayne going for the on-hit build with Blade Rune King and Wit's End. Swain with Nat Malignance, one of the new items that came through in this huge patch cycle. One of the best items for Swain as well. As I mentioned, you know, when the front line is diving on in, the Viego, the Renekton, you know, Swain could just stand there with the ultimate, with the Malignance, and do so much damage. Random needs to be a little bit careful in this bot side, but look how big this Volibear is already. 8,300 gold right now on the Volibear, but on the other side, Viego and the Orianna with Snorlax and Random both also having a lot of gold. So there's a few carries on either side, but as I mentioned, I think the later the game goes, the stronger Vapo's comp gets with the Lulu and the Vayne, and also the Swain scaling as well.
Oh, CC does fall onto the, so not the Swain, sorry, onto the Lulu. Almost getting taken down there. Volley goes down first part of the team fight, but here it is. Lilo as well, but the aftershock comes through, takes down Lulu. Down goes Vayne as well, but that is overall a ace for the side of International Job Center. This is exactly what they need, especially with the Baron up.
Incredible play there from Snorlax, getting that route onto the Volibear, and then the follow-up from Quant as well on the Nunu. That isolated damage onto that Volibear. Had to use the ultimate really defensively. Didn't want to use the ultimate, but had to use it defensively to stay alive. And that forced the Lulu ultimate onto the Volibear, which is such a big deal. It means that the Vayne herself is a lot more exposed, and Random hit a 3-man shockwave on the backline, hitting the Vayne, hitting the Lulu, and hitting that Xin Zhao as well. So it just meant that the team fight was all in International Job Center's favor, with Lulu forcing the summoner spells and forcing the abilities onto that Volibear getting caught out.
Yeah, I mean, even though they got the ace in, obviously the Baron Nashor here, the pressure obviously still hasn't yet kind of like snowballed in onto the Rift here for the side of International Job Center. Yes, they're ahead by about 7k gold, which is obviously going to serve them very well into those team fights in terms of trying to get that power spike before Vapo gets online in terms of the scaling. Obviously, the dragon is up as well. Ocean Drake being the second dragon here that maybe International Job Center would decide to go for. But I feel like it's going to be a little bit more pressure here to try and get these T2s, just get these lanes going for the side of International Job Center.
You're seeing in the side lanes at the moment, you know, International Job Center pushing all 3 lanes right now, pushing in the bot side, pushing in the mid, and pushing top lane as well. All 3 lanes are getting pushed in right now for Vapo. They put up a great fight in this series, but I think it's going to have to come up with a miracle now in this one to try and come back. Shockwave again from Random is absolutely huge. There's an exchange happening topside as well, but Random gets another kill, this time onto the Vayne. Snorlax is jumping in with the Vayne, taking the soul in the end, and taking the next one as well, flushing away to safety. Snorlax is on fire with this Viego pick, and this might be game number 4 going in the favor of International Jobcenter. That's everyone down. It's the Enchanter, it's the Lulu left standing, but Lulu can't do anything when there's 5 brawlers running through the base, and International Jobcenter win game 9 before and make it to tomorrow's grand final.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like we're going to get the full best of 5 in this series. Unfortunately, we're not going to get to see them try all the way to get their noggins scratching and their brains working. Obviously, with like, what, about 40 champions taken off of the board there. But it is going to be International Jobcenter through it all. Obviously, we thought that the draft was going to go over there to Vapo, especially in terms of obviously scaling. The denial of obviously trying to get into the backline onto the Swain, and the Lulu was really saying like, hey, how do they overcome this? But Snorlax was that kind of he was the spearhead, right? He was just always diving in from that first blood, and we were saying, hey, maybe this is the key into the heart of Vapo, and it was.
Yeah, very good performance in the end. Again, they needed to try and end this game really as quick as possible, and it was the picks from Snorlax, it was the picks from the Viego, and the shockwaves as well from Random this game were so clean, hitting multiple people every single time. And unfortunately, the likes of the Vayne and the Swain didn't get online. I think once the Vayne gets 3-4 items, the same with the Swain as well, they become very scary. But they couldn't even get to that point in the end because Random and Snorlax and the rest of International Jobcenter were just able to run it down.
Yeah, no, so I believe that is probably the end of the line there for Vapo, I believe it is. So it is going to be International Jobs